Imam Khomeini, the founder of the Islamic Republic of Iran, was a staunch supporter of Palestine and its struggle for freedom against the Israeli occupation. As a matter of fact, his fight for the liberation of Palestine started long before the victory of the Islamic Revolution he led, which ultimately toppled the US-backed Pahlavi regime in 1979.
The religious opposition to the Shah.
In this 1978 interview, launched before the victory of the Islamic Revolution in Iran, Imam Khomeini, then in exile in France, clearly declares that once the US-backed regime of the Shah is toppled, Iran will cut ties with Israel. Imam Khomeini also says he supports the cause of Palestine as an oppressed nation.
ما طرفدار مظلوم هستیم. هر کس در هر قطری که مظلوم باشد ما طرفدار اونها هستیم. و فلسطینی ها مظلوم هستند. اسرائیل به اونها ظلم کرده است. از این جهت ما طرفدار اونها هستیم.
If the Shah were overthrown and the kind of government you want came to power in Iran, how would Iran's relations with Israel change?
ما اسرائیل را طرد خواهیم کرد و هیچ رابطه‌ای با او نخواهیم داشت. او دولت غاصب است و با ما دشمن.
Does that mean that Israel would no longer receive oil from Iran?
نخواهد کرد.
No, we will not receive the oil.
No more oil from Iran for Israel.
That's right.
Imam Khomeini's support for Palestine can be traced back to his early years as a religious scholar. On June 3, 1963, Imam Khomeini made a very significant speech in the central Iranian city of Qom to raise awareness about the occupation of the Palestinian territories by the Israeli regime. In his sermon, Imam Khomeini warned people about the dangers of Israel, a regime that seeks to destroy Islam, the Quran. He called on all Muslims to support the oppressed people of Palestine. In March 1963, Imam Khomeini wrote a letter about the danger of Israel, openly lashing out at the US-backed regime of the Shah for growing close ties with Israel. Because of my religious obligation, I hereby warn the people of Iran and the Muslims of the world that the Holy Quran and Islam are in danger. The independence of our country and its economy are in danger of being seized by the Zionists. With the deadly silence of the Muslims, it won't be long before they, the Zionists, destroy the existence of the Muslim nation in all its aspects. Imam Khomeini saw the Palestinian people as victims of injustice and occupation. He emphasized the importance of unity among Muslims and urged them to stand together against Israeli oppression. He called on all Muslim nations to support the Palestinian resistance and provide them with political, moral, and material assistance.
اشتباهی که همه مسلمین و خصوصاً ملت‌ها و دولت‌های عرب کردند این بود که مهلت دادند به اسرائیل و اغراض شخصیه دولت‌ها مانع شد از اینکه سرای اسرائیل را در همون اول خفه کنند و نگذارند قدرت پیدا بکند.
From Imam Khomeini's point of view, Israel was a threat not only to the Palestinian people and other regional countries, but also all Muslims across the world.
ما گفتیم مکرر که اسرائیل این جرثومه فساد اکتفاء به قدس اکتفاء به بیت المقدس نخواهد کرد و اگر مهلت داده شود تمام دول اسلامی در معرض خطر است.
Imam Khomeini also condemned the normalization of relations between certain Arab countries and Israel, considering it a betrayal of the Palestinian cause. He believed that such indifference to the cause of Palestine would ultimately harm the whole Muslim world.
اسرائیل امروز فرمانفرمای این بلاد اسلامی دارد میشد و اگر این بی‌تفاوتی و این کمک و این تفره زدن برای اینکه بشناسند اسرائیل را به رسمیت، اگر این به نتیجه برسد او فرمانفرمای همشون خواهد شد.
The Israeli military captured the Golan Heights, a rocky plateau in the Levant region of Western Asia, spanning nearly 1,800 square kilometers from Syria in the 1967 Six-Day War. Ever since, the Israeli regime, backed by its staunch ally, the United States, refuses to return the strategic territory to Syria, despite the fact that the international community regards the Golan Heights to be Syrian territory held by Israel under military occupation. Imam Khomeini believed that the liberation of Palestine and other occupied territories by Israel was not just the responsibility of Palestinians, but also a duty for all Muslims and all people who value justice and freedom. On October 7, 1979, less than a year after the victory of the Islamic Revolution in Iran, Imam Khomeini declared the last Friday of the holy month of Ramadan as Quds Day, calling for worldwide support and solidarity with the Palestinian people.
تمام مسلمین توجه بکنن. روز قدس روزی است که باید تمام ملت‌های اسلام با هم توجه بکنن و این روز را زنده نگه دارن. اگر یک هیاهویی از تمام ملت‌های مسلمین بلند بشد روز جمعه آخر ماه مبارک که روز قدس است، همه ملت‌ها قیام بکنن، همون که حالا همون تظاهرات، همون راهپیمایی‌ها را بکنن، این مقدمه میشد از برای اینکه انشاءالله جلو این مفسدین را ما بگیریم و کلک اینها از بلاد اسلام کنده بشد.
Ever since, and years after the passing of Imam Khomeini, Quds Day rallies are held every year in Iran and many other countries around the world. This day serves as a reminder of the plight of the Palestinians and their struggle for self-determination. These rallies attract millions of people who come together to express their support for Palestine and condemn Israeli aggression. Today, as the Israeli genocide in Gaza continues, with the US and UK complicity, and amid a muted response from the international community, Imam Khomeini's message resonates more than ever.
من کرارن راجع به طمع‌های اسرائیل تنبه دادم که اسرائیل اینطور نیست که اکتفا کند به اون زمین هایی که غصب کرده است. حالا دیدید که پایتخت خودش را در قدس قرار داده است و تمام این چیزهایی که از آمریکا و از طرفدارای حقوق بشر و از این محافل و مجالسی که در خارج هست، اینها تمام یک شعرهای غیر موزون است و لازم می‌بینید که انکار می‌کنند و اسرائیل هیچ اعتنا نمی‌کند.
The recent events in Gaza have once again exposed the brutal nature of Israel and how the US and its allies' support has emboldened the regime to commit crimes against humanity. The indiscriminate bombing campaigns, destruction of civilian infrastructure, including hospitals and schools, and loss of innocent lives have shocked the world. Despite this, the international community's response has been disappointingly muted, with few nations taking a strong stance against Israeli atrocities. In the face of Israel's relentless onslaught on Gaza and the occupied West Bank, and despite decades of failed attempts to bring an end to the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territories, the recent Israeli genocide in Gaza has made it clear that resistance is the only viable path toward the liberation of Palestine, a cause that can best materialize through the solidarity and unity of the Muslim world.